with a Scoop podcast powered by the Roof Gallery.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Roofs by Don, right here at the Roof Gallery with the one and only DMITRY Lipinskyiy, Roofing Insights. So we had the honor of being able to induct him into the Roofing Hall of Fame. So he's official in the Hall of Fame. Hey. So first thing first, we want to thank you for coming to Atlanta and giving the guys, some great knowledge and giving them some inspiration, me included. How did you start roofing?
Roofing?
Yeah.
I was in flooring business before, actually, here in Atlanta. I sold my flooring business. And when I moved to Minneapolis, did I say roofing? I was in flooring. Flooring. Moved to Minneapolis. Ask all my friends, what's the best trade? Because I did not want to really be in flooring business. I realized it's 1,100 miles away, Atlanta to Minneapolis. No one knows me. People knew me here. For my friends and family, I was a flooring guy at the time, but I've done everything. I've done installation, painting, flooring, tiles, you name it, I've done it. I've been, at that time, 6-7 years in construction, working with my hands. I did not care what to do. So I called all my buddies. I called my siding guy I used to work for 6 months for, $10 an hour job. I'm like, Alex, if you would start a business today, what would you do? He's like, money is in the roofing. I called my remodeler guys, like, if you start business today, what would you do? Money is in the roofing. Every builder, every remodeler, every flooring guy, everyone knows that money, like no one ever will turn down a roofing job. And I'm like, you know what? I'm moving to a brand new city. I'm starting from scratch. At that point, I did not care what to do, drywall, flooring, painting. I just knew one thing. The riches in niches, you pick one thing, you do less, and you do more of it. That's how you scale.
Yeah.
So if I would move to Arizona today, I might be looking into pools or exterior painting or stucco. Like wherever's in demand in that market, I would do that. Pools in Minneapolis, maybe not that much. Pools in LA or
Florida,
Arizona, exactly, Florida, it's probably lucrative. Trade by itself is not the business. Principles all the same. So I picked the roofing and
ran with it.
Searched it, ran with it.
Nice. Okay. So like everyone sees that you're like the roofing guru. You're the person that when we're checking for product reviews or to see what's the best product or to see who's a reputable contractor to work with, things like that you're the go-to guy. What inspired you to be that person?
Just being me. When you create content, you have to do what's real for you. You have to be I'll give you an example. Lawyer Tommy in Houston, Texas, he shared this experience with me. So if you think about lawyers, they all wear
in suits,
dressed up. So he starts YouTube channel, and at first he's like all dressed up because that's what you expect. But he hates suits. He's 26-year-old young lawyer on YouTube, and at first, for first couple of videos, he's all dressed up. He's like, but then he shared with me. He said, Dmitry, that was not me. I'm not that guy. I actually don't buy myself nice watch, my shoe, like everything he wears is gifted to him. He makes a lot of money, but he's not in a buying like dress, like we're all different.
Yeah, 100%.
And he said that when I became authentic myself, when I started wearing typical t-shirt, what I would wear every day, and creating lawyers content, that's where I went up. And that was for me. If you watch Storm Group Roofing, my first YouTube channel videos, LP Smart Side versus James Hardy versus vinyl siding, you will see Dmitry in a dress pants, dress shirt, nice belt, nice shoes. I thought if I'm doing a video, I have to present. Nobody cares. And then later I switched. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to talk about what matters to me. I'm an immigrant. So I'm from Russia, from Siberia. When I grew up, my dad often did not get paid for up to a year and a half. And that's taking a government job. My dad had a dump trucking company. He would have 20 guys under him, 17, 18 tons dump trucks. They would build a bridge in Siberia between major cities. And he would be waiting to get paid for year and a half. I'll share one story. I'm in university, 1,000 miles away from my home. And Dean called me in my office and said, "Hey, we've seen your family on the news." I'm like, "What the heck? Like, what's happening right now?"
Yeah.
So the guy who ran a company, government agency, think about Gazprom, like national oil gas company. They would owe my dad for a year and a half worth of work. I'm talking about millions of rubles, like $300,000 back in 2003 for like 20 truck drivers. And the guy would run for mayor of the city. So my mom would be like, "This is BS."
Yeah.
Like, what kind of BS is this? So she would call news company and say, "My kids," I'm oldest of 7 kids. So my mom is a fighter. She would go on air. She called news company. And they did not tell me this. I'm like 1,000 miles away in university. And my mom would call the news company, do the press conference that the strike. They would do the strike where kids are not eating until this BS is happening in her city. So dean of my university calls me and is like, "Are you okay? Do you need any help?" I'm like, "Why?" They're like, "We've seen your family in the news." So I called my sister. Who's like, "Oh, we did not want to tell you, so you don't worry about it." So being paid for your hard labor, it goes like all the way to the bones to me. Because as an oldest kid of 7 kids, I remember us not being able to buy literally food when my dad works the hardest. So when I came to the United States, I cannot be silent about it. When I see a subcontractor not getting paid by contractor, I'm like, "Really? You're not making money." This is land of opportunity. Laws here are different. Everybody makes money. If someone is not getting paid, and that's what I learned back in Russia too. If someone is not paying someone is getting richer. They get in percentages. They get in interest rates on the money.
Exactly.
Somewhere.
Exactly.
Like, it's BS. I'm very sensitive to it. For me, there's nothing more sacred than someone's hard work. That's why I do scam alert videos. That's why I call people out. You work hard, but you pay freaking bills. I mean, mistakes happen, and I fell behind. You probably fell behind. You can owe money to your suppliers. Like, mistakes happen.
Yeah.
But I also have seen people, actually, I did one of the scam alerts here in Atlanta when the guy, I remember, I call out this guy. He owns for a couple dumpsters. And the guy who he owed to, like, was immigrant, and the guy shared messages with me, and I exposed him. I dropped those messages. He literally told the guy, "Oh, you're fine. You're making good living here."
Yeah,
he owes him like $2,000. Like, you know, "You and me are fine. We live in a good life." And for him, for the guy who would deliver 4 dump trailers, $400 a piece, like $1,600. For him, it was a lot of money. And I tell you right now, yeah, $1,000 or $2,000, even to this day to me, $2,000 to me, it's a lot of money. I can buy a lot of things, a lot of experience for my kids. Why would I forget? Like, how can you screw me out of that? So for me, when I see that, I just cannot be silent. I feel like someone have to stand up.
100%.
And that's how it's...
And I like that. And we like that, as far as we can tell that's your personality. So that's something that everyone gravitates to. So that's why we rally behind you. So that's real good. And that's funny that you say that too, as far as payments, because I don't know if every contract has been through that, you know, but we definitely have been through that with our previous situations, and we're able to get through it and, overcome it. But that kind of thing really gets me too. Like, we're working hard, we're doing everything we're supposed to do, and then at the end of the day, you don't want to pay, or you don't want to pay a closeout, you know? Like, especially if we're a salesperson and we're doing the job, we're on the roof, we're getting it approved, we're making, everyone money. But then at the end of the day, there's a closeout, or if you want to part ways, then the company now wants to take everything, you know?
Of course.
So at the end of the day, we definitely get that. And another thing I think is with insurance companies, because I feel like insurance companies kind of do the same thing with how long they pay.
It's a game. It's definitely a game. It's a numbers game. They know the numbers. It's delay, deny. Like, we all know it. They figured it out. They starve and starve. Like, they know they can starve the contractor and they'll agree to whatever.
Exactly. Okay, now let's go to the next things as far as for